Heartbreak Town, Dixie Chicks, Kicks 105.5. A good morning to you. I'm Sean Knight. As he joins us about 10 minutes till 8 o'clock every Wednesday, it is Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, and as we approach summer officially on Saturday, my birthday, Father's Day, Sunday. Did you catch that?
Yeah, it's Father's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's great.
Selective hearing. Your wife told me about that. Lots
By
of
who?
people. Yeah. Lots of people getting their campers, their fifth wheelers out and about. And so at this time, would that be the time to go, I wonder what my policy is? Or like student loans, am I already like a month or two behind the eight ball? I should have been looking at this a while ago. And is it too late if I look at my policy now and go, oh, this is outdated, or I wanted to make this change? Does that change occur if I go to you now, or is that going to have to happen next billing cycle or next month? How does that work?
It's interesting. A lot of people think that there's a kind of a timetable on this. You know, open enrollment really only pertains to Medicare and health insurance and disability insurance. Those are the types of insurance that really have a window that you're able to make changes. With property and casualty, which is the blanket term for home, auto, business, special lines, which would be ATV, motorcycle, recreational vehicles, you can make a change anytime. And you can switch anytime, too. So, if you're in the mindset, or if you hear something this morning that I'm about to throw at you, that you go, I want to check that out and see if that's what I have, and you decide you want to change it, go ahead. You can change it right then and there. You can make the call. You can get and make the change with your agent or the company that you're with. You're talking about fifth wheels and campers. A big trend, especially this year, I'm sure we'll see more of it, is people staying closer to home. With campers and fifth wheels, and even motorhomes, there's one thing that people do that, it makes sense in the grand scheme, but you're missing out an opportunity for coverage, and that is you add those particular units to your auto insurance. Now, it does vary a little bit from auto insurance carrier to carrier. I have some in my office that offer some additional coverages, and that's what I'm about to get on. When you add it simply to your auto policy, you're giving yourself the coverage for physical damage loss to be covered for the camper, motorhome, or fifth wheel, and awning coverage and things like that. And, of course, liability would be on it because if you're towing, it would extend from your tow vehicle. If it's a motorhome, you're putting liability on it. And you'd have medical payments coverage on it as well. Now, here's the kicker. The liability and the medical payments only pertain while you're on the road. You're only going to be there while you're moving around. So the second, and this is going to probably more be appropriate for the ones that can be removed, so the fifth wheel and the campers. Once you're detached from the vehicle that's towing it, liability's gone. And not to say that when you set it up for camping season that you should just keep your vehicle tied onto it, because that's not going to help you either. But you may want to look at options for adding things such as vacation liability. What if you have friends come over and somebody sustains an injury in the camper? You have no liability coverage for your protection on a regular auto policy. So that's why we talk about looking at specific camper policies to add additional coverage, such as vacation liability. You can also add some contents coverage. Maybe you have a big deductible on your homeowner policy. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $5,000. You could add some contents coverage and have a little bit of a lower deductible and have some broader coverage while you're in the camper with your personal belongings. So
you were talking about your friends. You were talking about your friends coming over, and I actually had a question based on that. Let's say your friend says, "Hey, I want to check out that new ATV you got." They roll down the hill because they're unfamiliar with the ATV, and they crash your ATV and they get hurt. Where is that covered? Under their policy, under your policy, and which one? Is it vehicle, vacation, or some blanket insurance?
You're right up the right alley. This is a great example. So I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say they roll it on your property, of which you have a homeowner policy. Your homeowner policy is not going to cover it because vehicles such as that, liability from a homeowner policy will not cover. So that's ixnayed immediately. So you best have, and this is going to be true even if you add the ATV to your homeowner policy, because it's liability to protect you for if you injure somebody else. But if they just simply hurt themselves, it's really going to have to come from a specific ATV policy that would have the coverage for it. And if it's due to negligence on your part, they could go feasibly after the liability on the ATV policy. But the best part is whatever limited coverage you choose for medical payments, they would have for immediate medical attention. So whether it be $1, $2, $5, or $10 or $25,000, that should help them, hopefully not sustaining a large injury. Now, if you do it off your property, you have nothing to back you up. So it's only going to come from an ATV-type policy.
Oy, I'd tell him, Bob, shake it off, man, and how much cash you got in your pocket.
Like when you were a little kid and your friend got hurt. You're not hurt. You're not hurt. You're not hurt. Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom.
Bob,
Don't tell Mom.
Bob, do you want to wake up tomorrow tied to a tree? Here's a question for you. Newport economy literally was saved by ATVs. It was a law that was very controversial about having them on city streets.
Right.
Did you notice that there is an increase in ATV coverage or like side-by-sides in Vermont because of these laws being passed, or this hasn't really affected the policy coverage as far in terms of having to pay more because you're allowed to be on city streets?
Right, and that's a change. I mean, when you were just trail riding or riding in fields, that's one type of liability. Now you're on roads, sharing road time with vehicles. That has not been a seismic shift that's occurred yet, but I guarantee it will. In fact, insurance companies have already started asking underwriting questions of, is this vehicle registered for road use? Is this vehicle ridden off-road only? And you can bet that as time goes along, that they're going to have to pay more. Now, my concern is that there may be people out there getting ATV insurance who are saying, no, this doesn't go on public roads. No, I'm not registered for road use, who probably are and are indeed on it. That could lead to some serious gaps in coverage where maybe something horrible could happen that we see in the newspaper someday, and then you hear the horror stories of the insurance company not paying out. Well, that's because the insurance company was lied to, and they would have the grounds to say, well, we can't cover that because it was not appropriate.
Well,
so it's a tough situation.
If you'd like to have a further conversation about different policies, whether it's summer or camping or what have you, your homeowners, your automobiles, your side-by-sides, if Bob is coming over, gets drunk, and rides your ATV down a hill, you can talk to Mike Barrett, Barrett Insurance Agency. Call him up at...
Put him on the 50cc ATV. Don't put him on the 600. You can find us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. We are open to the public with all appropriate precautions in place. You can go to our website for a free home or auto quote. That's thebarrettagency.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Google as Barrett Insurance Agency.
Hey, Sean's on a 50cc. Look at him. Why isn't he moving? Oh, no, he is. Let's talk boats next Wednesday, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, bye-bye.
See ya.